Imagine a time when Israel, once a unified and powerful nation under King David and King Solomon, fractured, leading to the mysterious disappearance of 10 of its tribes. These tribes, central to the narrative of the Bible, scattered and vanished from history, leaving behind one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. What happened to them? Are they still out there, hidden across the world, playing a role in prophetic events yet to unfold? The Bible tells us that these tribes were chosen by God for a divine purpose. However, their rebellion led to their dispersal across the earth. Today, scattered communities from Ethiopia to India, and even as far as the Americas, claim descent from these lost tribes. Could their reappearance be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies? And what does this mean for the future? In this exploration, we will trace the origins of the 12 tribes of Israel, investigate how 10 of them were lost, and explore the claims of modern groups who believe they are descendants of these tribes. But most importantly, we will delve into the prophetic significance of their return and what it might mean for the end of days. Journey with us as we uncover the ancient mysteries that are still influencing our world today. The story of the 12 tribes. The origins of Israel's 12 tribes begin with Jacob, grandson of Abraham, who fathered 12 sons. After a profound encounter with God, Jacob was renamed Israel, and his 12 sons became the founders of the 12 tribes. These tribes, each with a unique identity and inheritance, shaped the early history of Israel. Among them were the tribes of Reuben, Judah, and Levi and Joseph, whose sons Ephraim and Manasseh each received their own portion of the Promised Land. For a time, the tribes were united as one nation. But after King Solomon's reign, the kingdom split in two. The southern kingdom, Judah, was formed by the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, while the northern kingdom, Israel, consisted of the remaining 10 tribes, including Reuben, Dan, and Ephraim. The northern kingdom soon fell into idolatry and rebellion, ignoring the warnings of prophets like Hosea and Amos. In 722 BC, the Assyrian Empire conquered the northern kingdom, exiling its people and scattering the tribes across their vast empire. Over time, these tribes faded from history, earning the title of the Lost Tribes of Israel. But are they really lost? According to biblical prophecy, their return may signal the unfolding of significant events in the end times. Could the scattered groups around the world today be the key to unlocking this mystery? Ancient traditions suggest that these tribes have not vanished. They are simply waiting, perhaps until a time when they are destined to be revealed once more. Here's a closer look at some of the most notable groups that believe they are descendants of these lost tribes. 1. Bene Israel, Ethiopian Jews claiming descent from the tribe of Dan. One of the most well-known groups claiming descent from the lost tribes is the Bene Israel or Ethiopian Jews, who believe they are descendants of the tribe of Dan. Their presence in Ethiopia stretches back for thousands of years, and they have maintained unique Jewish customs that set them apart from other African ethnic groups. The Bene Israel kept the Sabbath, practiced circumcision, followed kosher dietary laws, and observed various Jewish festivals, even during centuries of isolation from the broader Jewish world. The Ethiopian Jewish community has long maintained that they are part of the lost tribe of Dan, one of the 10 northern tribes exiled by the Assyrians. Their oral tradition tells of a migration from Israel to Ethiopia via Egypt, where they established themselves as part of a long-forgotten branch of the Israelite people. This claim was supported by their religious practices, which mirrored those of ancient Israel, and their unbroken tradition of Judaism. In the modern era, their claim was validated in the eyes of the Jewish world when Israel's rabbinate officially recognized the Bene Israel as part of the Jewish people. In the late 20th century, through operations such as Operation Moses, 1984, and Operation Solomon, 1991, tens of thousands of Ethiopian Jews were airlifted to Israel, fulfilling a modern echo of the ancient prophecies regarding the regathering of Israel's exiles. Their connection to the tribe of Dan remains a fascinating part of the wider narrative of the lost tribes, and their return to Israel is seen by many as part of the ongoing fulfillment of biblical prophecy. 2. Bene Israel, Indian Jews claiming descent from the tribe of Ephraim. The Bene Israel, located primarily in the western regions of India, trace their roots back to the lost tribe of Ephraim. According to their oral tradition, their ancestors were shipwrecked on the Indian coast centuries ago, possibly during the Assyrian exile, and established a small Jewish community in India. They remained isolated from the broader Jewish world for much of their history, but kept certain Jewish customs such as observing the Sabbath, circumcision, and dietary laws. What's remarkable about the Bene Israel is that they survived for centuries with limited contact with other Jewish communities, yet managed to retain a strong sense of Jewish identity despite their isolation. Their traditions have similarities to those of mainstream Judaism, and their claim of descent from the lost tribe of Ephraim is taken seriously by many in the Jewish world. In recent decades, some members of the Bene Israel have immigrated to Israel, contributing to the diversity of Israel's Jewish population and representing yet another potential fulfillment of the prophecy of the return of the lost tribes. 3. Pashtun Tribes, Afghanistan and Pakistan claiming descent from the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. The Pashtun people of Afghanistan and Pakistan, also known as Pathans, claim to be descendants of the lost tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph. This claim is supported by their ancient traditions, many of which bear striking resemblances to Israelite customs. For example, many Pashtun tribes practice circumcision on the 8th day, avoid eating pork, and follow other cultural practices reminiscent of ancient Israelite law. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting their claim is their oral tradition, which consistently refers to their Israelite heritage. For centuries, the Pashtun have referred to themselves as Bene Israel, children of Israel, passing down stories that link their ancestry to the northern kingdom of Israel. Some Pashtun tribes even carry names that are similar to the names of the Israelite tribes, such as Rabbani and Levani. Scholars and historians are divided on the validity of these claims, but there's no denying the persistence of these traditions. With the Pashtun numbering in the tens of millions, the possibility that they could be descended from the lost tribes adds a fascinating dimension to the broader narrative of the regathering of Israel in the end times. 4. Igbo Jews, Nigeria claiming descent from the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. The Igbo people of Nigeria have long claimed that they are descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, particularly the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. The Igbo culture includes practices similar to those found in Judaism, such as circumcision on the 8th day, dietary restrictions, and the observance of religious festivals. Many Igbo believe their ancestors were scattered during the Assyrian conquest. Although their claims have not been widely recognized by the larger Jewish community, there is growing interest in the Igbo's connection to ancient Israel. In recent years, many members of the Igbo community have formally converted to mainstream Judaism, and some have even immigrated to Israel, seeking to reconnect with their long-lost heritage. Their connection to the tribes of Gad and Zebulun is part of a larger movement across Africa to uncover the lost remnants of the 10 tribes, raising the possibility that more such groups could emerge in the future. 5. Lemba, Zimbabwe and South Africa claiming descent from the tribe of Levi. The Lemba people, living primarily in Zimbabwe and South Africa, have long claimed to be descendants of ancient Israelites, specifically from the tribe of Levi. Their oral tradition maintains that their ancestors migrated from the Middle East to Africa centuries ago. Their customs, including circumcision, kosher-like dietary laws, and Sabbath observance, have intrigued scholars for years. Recent DNA testing has lent credibility to their claims. A significant portion of the Lemba population carries the Cohen modal haplotype, a genetic marker associated with the priestly line of Aaron. This genetic link strengthens the argument that they are indeed descendants of the tribe of Levi. The Lemba story is particularly compelling because it suggests that the priestly line of Levi, though scattered, has been preserved in unexpected parts of the world. Their return, both spiritually and physically, may be part of the prophetic regathering of Israel. The biblical prophecies surrounding the regathering of the lost tribes emphasize that God has not forgotten these scattered tribes. In fact, their return is central to the end-time prophecies of the Bible. One of the most vivid descriptions comes from Ezekiel 37, particularly the Valley of Dry Bones prophecy. God promises to breathe life back into the scattered tribes of Israel and reunite them with Judah. I will make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel. There will be one king over all of them, and they will never again be two nations or be divided into two kingdoms. Ezekiel 37 verse 22. This prophecy foretells a future time when the lost tribes of Israel will be restored and unified with the southern kingdom of Judah, forming a single, united Israel under the Messiah. It marks a pivotal moment in the unfolding of God's plan for the end times. Isaiah 11 verse 12 also speaks of this regathering, indicating that God will once again reclaim his people from around the world. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Isaiah 11 verse 12. This passage points to a global regathering beyond the return from the Babylonian exile, including the lost tribes of the northern kingdom. Many see this prophecy beginning to unfold through the return of groups such as the Bene Israel and Bene Israel, with the ultimate fulfillment to come when all 12 tribes return to their ancient homeland. In Revelation 7, the 12 tribes of Israel are once again represented as 144,000 individuals, with 12,000 from each tribe, sealed for protection during the Great Tribulation. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. Revelation 7 verse 4. This passage reaffirms that even the lost tribes have a role in God's final plan for humanity. The restoration of the lost tribes is more than a historical curiosity. It is a crucial part of biblical prophecy, leading to the Messianic age. According to the Bible, the lost tribes will be restored, reunited with Judah, and will play a key role in the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. As groups claiming descent from these tribes continue to emerge, the world watches for the fulfillment of these ancient prophecies. Their reappearance serves as a reminder that God's promises remain steadfast and that the return of the Messiah is drawing near. This supernatural regathering is viewed as a clear sign that the final days are approaching, with God's ultimate plan for Israel and the world unfolding before our eyes. If this dive into the 12 tribes of Israel and their prophetic role intrigued you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more deep insights into how ancient prophecies are shaping our modern world. God bless you.